Welcome to our RIMP Code video series, Scaffolding of Complex Text. My name is Michelle Elia, and I will provide further clarification about this instructional practice. Small group scaffolding of complex text. It is important for all students, including those that are reading below grade level, to access complex text daily. In order to do this, teachers can provide scaffolded instruction to students, which can include, but is not limited to, pre-teaching vocabulary, focusing on the language structure of the complex sentences, teaching cohesive ties, teaching morphology, and the decoding of multisyllabic words. We'll begin with what to teach. Well, we have to use complex texts. I mean grade level, rigorous texts that are aligned with our core instruction in both the units and themes we're using. And also these are texts that my students will see in core instruction with their peers. We want to use these texts to build background knowledge and also teach academic vocabulary. We're going to teach phonology in terms of pronunciation of words. We're also going to teach decoding of multisyllabic words, and this can include the use of morphology and morphemes. We'll teach sentence structure, how to break apart the sentences in the complex text into smaller parts. We'll teach cohesive ties, which are those links within complex text that help the text to make sense. We will also teach vocabulary, which if you would like more information about that, you can see our video on explicit vocabulary interventions. How will we do this? Well, there's multiple ways to scaffold complex text. We could use multiple texts or a text set on a topic. We can take the very complex, challenging words that children might find difficult to decode and break them up into morphemes or to syllables. We can build sentence sense by helping our students dissect individual sentences in a text. And then we can pre-teach critical vocabulary before moving into the text, but also after the text in order to review other vocabulary. Let's give you an example. Before introducing the text, I might have my students break apart the big words. So what I do is I choose words from the text my students might find particularly challenging. In this case, I chose 4 words and I broke them up by syllables. So I give students index cards with these syllables from the 4 words. The students have to then match either in small groups, independently. They have to match up the syllables, decode each syllable first, actually, then match up the syllables, and then determine the words that we were trying to read in the text. In this case, when they match them up, let's get our little tool here to match. We can match for with get and get for get. We can match health with E. And this E is at the end of the word, and at the end of a multisyllabic word, the letter Y will represent that E sound. And we can match health with full and get healthful, and den with tist and get dentist. So that's one way to start before giving our students the text. We can scaffold the text by helping them to decode words that our students might find particularly challenging. I now know my students can decode these words when they encounter them in the text. Another helpful tool to use when scaffolding complex texts are text sets. So before giving them the challenging grade level text, I might have my students watch a video. In this case, my challenging text was about oral hygiene and taking care of our teeth. So we could watch a quick video about how we brush our teeth. Maybe we could use an infographic about how to appropriately use dental floss. And then last but not least, I will introduce my complex text that includes all of the concepts that I've just built a lot of background knowledge on. I can also build sentence sense. Maybe I pull a sentence from the text, write it on the board, and we dissect it together. We talk about the subject and the verb. We talk about adjectives, nouns, and pronouns that are within the sentence. We maybe rearrange the words to make new sentences. In this case, we're going to talk about pronoun reference. That tends to be pretty challenging for our students. For example, here we see the pronoun they. So I might circle the pronoun they and then ask my students, what noun is that pronoun referring to? So what is it referencing? So they help you talk. Well, who is they? That's right. They is referring to teeth. So helping my students to identify this very early on is going to make them better comprehenders of these complex texts as they go. If you'd like more information on this topic, please see page 33 in Ohio's Plan to Raise Literacy Achievement. Thanks so much for your time.